Top 10 extinct animals that may still exist. Hey there, YouTube. Tell me something, if you were given a chance, would you ever want to see again an animal that has died out? You know, like a Tyrannosaurus Rex or the Megalodon, because let's be honest here, the Megalodon's probably extinct. You can't change my mind on that, everybody. Our planet has seen countless animal species die out, either by natural selection or a little nudge from, well, humans. However, some creatures humans haven't even seen. In this list, we will be counting down 10 animals that have seemed to defy the odds and continue to live on despite being thought of as having died out. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as we bring you the top 10 extinct animals that may still exist. Let's begin, shall we? Number 10. The Tasmanian Tiger. Tasmanian tigers, or thylacines, were hunted for being a threat to livestock. Loss of habitat didn't help much. Settlers will do that to animals. The thylacine officially died off in 1936. However, reported sightings are fairly common as far as extinct animals go, at least. They've been spotted in Tasmania and mainland Australia, although none of the sightings are scientifically confirmed. You'll be happy to know that a few of the sightings were by the non-inebriated. In 1979, there was a much looked at report of a Tasmanian tiger by fencing workers at Lang Lang, Victoria, early one morning. This is one of the few daytime reports. It was seen by several people, and very importantly, they had not been drinking. That part's important in Australia, apparently. There was almost a dozen more sightings. Part of the confusion is that many of these sightings come from mainland Australia, where the species had been extinct since the 1800s, and there's also some interesting footage out there as well. Just search YouTube and you'll find dozens of them. You can make the argument that what people see in these videos are a dog with a limp, but there are those that are convinced it's a Tasmanian tiger. Number 9. The Japanese wolf. Now there are actually two types of Japanese wolves, the Honshu wolf and the Hokkaido wolf. The Japanese wolf met its demise in the same way that many other animals did, at the hands of an American for being a pest to livestock. Hey, you dumb old farmer, get off my crops and stop eating my chickens. Give my boomstick, tell you what. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's about how it went down. A man named Edwin Dunn, hired by the Japanese, dropped a little styrene and greatly facilitated their downfall. The Honshu died off in 1905 and the Hokkaido in 1889. Despite being dead, a Japanese wolf managed to turn up in 1910, in the 1930s, and again in the 1950s. If that wasn't enough, there have also been sightings in the 1990s. One theory is that the animals seen and heard howling are actually a wolf-dog hybrid. That's certainly plausible, but are they a breeding population is the real question here. Or is it more likely that the Japanese wolf is indeed still roaming the Japanese countryside? Either way, I don't think that Edwin did such a great job. I think the Japanese should demand a refund. Number 8. The Yangtze River Dolphin. The Yangtze River Dolphin, locally known as the Baji, were dolphins found only in the Yangtze River. These dolphins were once plentiful, but have been doomed by the construction of the Three Gorges Dam and the increased boat traffic. The Baji were declared extinct in 2006. But then, one was spotted a mere year later. A group of scholars led by scientists Wang Ding and Be Mature Here people confirmed the sighting. That's encouraging news for the survival of the species. Unfortunately, there's only been that single sighting. A massive expedition of over 35-40 kilometers, or 2,200 miles, did not yield any further sightings. However, the Yangtze is rather long, so there always is a chance that a few Baji can still be around. Number 7. The Megalodon. Okay, maybe I will retract my previous statement begrudgingly. The Megalodon is a giant shark that can grow up to 70 feet long, longer than any shark known to exist today. Megalodon means big, mighty in ancient Greek. It's one of the largest extinct animals that may still be alive today. It's thought to have been killed off 2.6 million years ago by global warming like many other extinct animals. Wait a minute. Are you telling me global warming is why we do not have this Leviathan anymore? Is global warming really all that bad? Discuss in the comments below, I'd like to see that actually. However, sailors have found sharks longer than any known species today and have been seen all over the world by said sailors and fishermen. Now, there also have been fossils of megalodon teeth found deep in the ocean, which means there could possibly be many megalodon living deep in the ocean and occasionally coming towards the surface. I don't know about you, but I would rather have this animal stay extinct. I mean, seriously, do you have any idea how many nightmares Jaws and Deep Blue Sea given me? I mean, Deep Blue Sea wasn't about megalodons, but I mean, the principle's still the same there. They're still giant sharks. Also, the Megalodon could just be really, really shy, you never know. Number 6. Plesiosaurs. Creatures matching the description of plesiosaurs have been seen all over the world, in lakes and oceans, and some people think it might explain sightings of the Loch Ness Monster. Plesiosaurs are marine reptiles from the Triassic period, which was 205 million years ago. Although they most likely died out, it is probable that they have survived to this day deep in the ocean where humans cannot reach, or are landlocked deep water lakes like Loch Ness in Scotland. Semantics. Extinct animals from the plesiosaur species could also explain sightings and myths of sea dragons from around the world, since they have such a similar appearance. Now, plesiosaurs have a broad, flat body and a short tail. Some plesiosaurs have also displayed long necks and short heads. I personally think that among the animals in this list, this one being still alive is completely plausible. With a number of sightings of Nessie and other lake monsters from around the world, it just seems unlikely that all these people have been making it up. Number 5. The Javan Tiger. The Javan Tiger was found on the Indonesian island of Java, fittingly enough. Hunting is the main reason why Javan Tigers died off. When you're on an island and you're being hunted, there's only so far you can go. The last official sighting of the animal occurred in 1976, however there were allegedly captured throughout the 1980s. An exhaustive search of the mid-1990s led to a 1994 declaration that the Javan Tigers were extinct until someone saw them a year later. In 1995, a Javan forester accidentally discovered a group of Javan Tigers. People still find evidence of the tiger from hair to scat. Quite a few firmly believe that the Javan Tiger is alive. Of all the extinct animals, the Javan Tiger is probably the most likely to still be around. Number 4. The Ivorybilled Woodpecker. The Ivorybilled Woodpecker is a bit special because it never officially went extinct. It was declared extinct in the 1920s, only to be spotted throughout the 1940s. In the 1950s, it was again presumed extinct, so naturally, it's still seen today. In 2005, there have been some documented sightings in Arkansas by a group of ornithologists. They recorded no fewer than 15 sightings of the Ivorybilled Woodpecker. The fact that this group of ornithologists hailed from Cornell, an Ivy League school, would make you think the Ivorybilled Woodpecker was still flying. However, the Ivorybilled Woodpecker is a bit of a third rail in the bird world. A number of scientists doubt the veracity of the Cornell report. Then again, people have been wrong about their extinction in the 1920s and the 1940s. The Ivorybilled Woodpecker could still be flying today. Number 3. The Passenger Pigeon. Passenger pigeons used to number in the billions. That's a lot of birds. But the problem with there being so many is that they are very, very easy to hunt. Hunters' loss of habitat and infectious diseases contributed to their eventual extinction. Ah yes, the biggest threat to the Earth itself. Man. Efforts to maintain small captive flocks failed because the birds were used to living in much larger groups. The last passenger pigeon named Martha died in the Cincinnati Zoo in 1914. 7 years after the passenger pigeon officially became extinct in the wild, a few more were reportedly spotted by a fairly reputable person, US President Theodore Roosevelt. You don't get much more credible than that, folks. Nowadays, someone occasionally sees a bird that looks a lot like a passenger pigeon. Now, I'm not saying whether this is a true sighting or not, it's up to you to decide. In any case, small flocks of passenger pigeons are reported to be seen in their old nesting areas, mostly around the Ozark Mountains. It's entirely possible that these smaller flocks survived. Number 2. The Japanese River Otter. The Japanese river otters became less common in the 1930s. By the time the 1970s rolled around, they were flat out rare. They were officially declared extinct in 2012, but it took, you guessed it, a year for one to be sighted again. Now, while sightings are surprisingly common, in the first year of its extinct status, there have been 15 sightings. Most of these sightings are unofficial. However, getting a sighting recognized as official isn't a simple thing. Actual capture of the animal is usually required, so unfortunately a video, or a picture, or a portrait, it ain't gonna fly, people. Scientists like to point out that most of the recently seen otters were spotted in areas they wouldn't typically be, like polluted rivers. Honestly, where do they have left to go, though? You kinda destroyed their habitats. Maybe. Actually, I don't know that fact. Maybe I'm wrong, but man is evil. Number 1. The Mastodon and the Woolly Mammoth. The Mastodon has been extinct for 11,000 years. One theory is that they died off due to tuberculosis, yet according to one fantastic report, they have actually been recently seen as of 500 years ago. In the 1560s, an English gentleman named David Ingram ventured to the Americas. He walked over 18 kilometers in what is now the United States. He told fantastic tales of visiting Native Americans with gold jewelry and hairy elephants. Yeah, you heard right. He tells of mastodons thousands of years after they allegedly went the way of the dodo. It would be easy to dismiss his account, but he also accurately described the buffalo and the general topography of the lands he said he visited. Sure, there are unconfirmed reports of mastodon sightings floating around the internet even in our times. However, it is curious that David Ingram managed to accurately describe a mastodon. He had no reason to think they lived in the Americas, nor did he know exactly what he was seeing at the time. As late as 1948, frozen mammoths were discovered with meat still fresh. That's not exactly solid evidence, but given the vast wilderness of Siberia, it isn't out of the question. Every once in a while, unconfirmed reports will trickle out of the area, mentioning elephant-like creatures. Now, not exactly a confirmation, but it is pretty hard to mistake an elephant for a moose, so maybe there's something to it? Yeah, either way. And that is our video for today. Thank you for watching Top 10 Extinct Animals That May Still Exist. Be sure to hit like if you liked the video and hit share to spread the word to your friends. Also hit the bell icon so you'll be notified every time we upload a new video. And believe me, we upload new and interesting videos all the time. Again, thanks for watching and see you all next time.